Hello, 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 everyone, and welcome to your new episode of What's in Your Cup Conversations. I am your host, your favorite inspirational speaker and life balance coach, Consuela Nicole, and you are definitely in for a treat. As you come in, go ahead and let me know that you are here and let me know how you are doing today. It is definitely a wonderful Wednesday. Some may call it a little wacky Wednesday. We've been doing some life has been lifing, right? Life has definitely been lifing. Uh Hello there, Dr. Johnson. I see you. Thank you very much for joining in. I appreciate you. Everybody, as you know, what's in your cup conversations? Let's talk about it. We are not talking about just what you are sipping on, as you already know, right? We're talking about your mental, physical, and emotional cup as well. What is in your cup, right? Um, I really want to know how you're doing. From one coast to the next. How are you doing? Dr. Johnson, I am glad you are doing well, and I'm actually glad you're on here because there's something I want to mention to the people and why it is so important for me to know how you are doing and not just with that normal cliche, oh, I'm okay, because everybody say I'm okay because they feel like don't nobody ever want to listen, right? Well, guess what, guys? There is an option and something available for everybody that I want to share with you. Myself and a couple of my colleagues started something called Because You Can Virtual Support Group, right? Everybody needs somebody to talk to, even outside of your normal circle, right? So, this is something for anybody, no matter what state you're in. It's virtual and it's on Zoom. And guess what? It is absolutely free of charge because you can virtual support group. You need somebody to talk to, vent to, just something to talk it out outside of your normal circle because you are let's call a thing. Afraid of being judged? Come on in, let us know, talk to us, and go on about your business. It's all good and it is all free. Yes, Dr. Johnson, it has truly, definitely been a blessing. If you want more information or you want the Zoom code, right? Because I don't want anyone to be embarrassed or anything of that nature, you have two options. First option number one is that you can send an email to smile@consuelanicole.com and just ask for the Because You Can virtual support group link. It will definitely be sent directly to you. That is not a problem, okay? But everyone needs someone to talk to, and we are truly here for you. That is something that I needed and had to make sure that I shared with everyone. Let's see, let's see. But I also have other updates that we're going to have throughout the broadcast today, right? And we have some, you know what? I need to share this update with y'all. I want to say thank you very, very much for all of your continued love and support. Guys, we are halfway through season 2, right? How about we are now halfway booked for season 3? Season 3 haven't even started yet, but we already have confirmed guests and already booked for season 3. We're halfway booked through season 3. So if you or anyone you know have a story to tell, are ready to tell their story and ready to share their testimony, make sure you send them over to what'sinyourcupconversations.com and use the link to be a guest. Season 3 is filling up already. I know you don't want to wait to season 4 to tell your story. So join us right here on What's in Your Cup Conversations. And we got you. We got you. You never know. Your story and your testimony can definitely be and just may be the answers to someone else's prayer. So stop holding up somebody else's destiny by being selfish. Use your words, right? I know Dr. Johnson is exciting, right? You just be ready. You just be ready. We're going to bind that migraine in the name of Jesus. Migraines are not good. So close your eyes and listen, because I know sometimes that screen can be a little bright. Close your eyes and listen to us because you want to hear this next conversation, right? So we're going to go in and do this because I know the conversation that is coming. And once you listen to this conversation, I do have some other information that we're going to share throughout tonight's broadcast. I am doing something a little different. I'm shaking things up. As you know, I am going to always pivot. I'm a pivot and do some things and shake some things up, but I do have some other special announcement that's coming. However, without further ado, let me tell you about our guest. You know, I asked him what was his life's what would the title of his life be right now if he had to give his life a title? And he said it's called Truth Legacy. And just so happened that is also the name of his book, and we're going to talk about that. The person I am talking about today is such a powerful, I should say, a powerful and inspiring story to tell. It's not just about life transitions, business ventures, or career pivots. It's about discovering purpose and truth along the journey. And that's a big thing, right? You have to know the truth along the journey. If you're not willing to tell the truth, what good is it? Okay, but we're going to keep going. Joining me today, we have Mr. Mariyo Sims. He is first and foremost a God-fearing man, a devoted father, a husband, and a son with over 20 years of experience in law enforcement. I got some questions for you, sir. His journey took a dramatic turn June of 2023. That was the moment his light bulb came on, and a time when he had to reevaluate everything he thought his life would be. Today, we are ready to take a deep dive into the story behind the man we call Mr. Mariyo Sims. Where he at? Where he at? There you go. Good evening, good evening, good evening, sir. How are you?
Good evening. Good evening. How are you doing this afternoon or this night?
Man, this night, right? I am here. You know, I'm here. I'm not gonna complain too much, but I'm excited about today's story. I am. I'm excited for a few reasons. Uh, reason number one is that you're here. Reason number two is because you're a man. Baby, it's not enough men telling their story about their journey, and I am excited about it.
We out
Right?
there. Yeah.
Yeah, you out there, but society tell men that they shouldn't be talking. Society say strong men don't talk, strong men hold it in. But I think you about to bust all those myths,
Yes,
right? You
ma'am.
you about to you about to bust all that wide open. But you know, I have to start with the question I ask everybody. I know I just said what was currently in Mario's cup, and I said who Mariyo Sims currently is to the world. How do Mariyo introduce Mariyo to the world when asked, who is Mariyo?
Ooh, that's a great question. Great question. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you, for even allowing me to come onto this platform. Um, when it comes to Mario, I'm an open book. I tell people all the time that uh, since leaving my current career and becoming an entrepreneur, I decided to not only have one endeavor, I've had multiple endeavors. So I call myself a serial entrepreneur. At the end of the day, I realized that one source of income is just not the way to go these days. I'm gonna always keep God first. From that, it's gonna go to my family. From my
Mm-hmm.
family, finances. So people try to say that money don't make the world go round, but it sure makes it a lot easier for you.
Oh,
Um,
amen.
and to just be a person that tries to be the best version of myself. I'm far from perfect, but I know how I want to be treated, and so I need to treat people the way that I want to be treated.
Okay. Okay. So listening to you, you said you right now you are previous law enforcement. You you had a journey. Right now your bio and the words sound good, but it wasn't always that way. You mentioned so we about to go all the way back real quick. You mentioned that your life took a turn in June of 2023.
That's correct.
Let's start there. What was that turn? What happened?
Well, I've pretty much dedicated. I'd say about 2 decades of my life to law enforcement. I kind of
Okay.
believed that that was my end all be all. And
Mhm.
like you said, June of 2023, I had a moment, and God kind of whispered to me and said, hey, there's more for you, son. I
Okay.
originally left the sheriff's department to gain a business in real estate and house flipping. That's what I originally left for,
Okay.
and it was lucrative. Had good money in it. But as I got into the industry, I realized that it wasn't just about buying and selling homes. For me, I wanted to have more of a mission to kind of preserve legacies. Too often, when parents grow old, they end up getting sick or going to be the grandparent to help the kids out,
Right.
and they end up losing their homes. The kids don't
Mhm.
want to move back home, so they move in with the kids, and before you know it, somebody comes and buys the house for a little or nothing and try to fix it up with even cheaper material, and then try to sell it to somebody else as a dream. And
Right.
I want something different for my people. And
Okay.
so that birthed Heartlad. Heartlad Reality came to birth, and it was basically a construction company that I was using to help elderly. Most people that homeowners are between the ages of 55 and older. And at
Okay.
55, you at the end of your career, or you getting ready to, sit in the rocking chair with the kiddos. And like most, most of the time, they were losing their legacies, and they don't
Mm.
have 10, 20, $30,000 to fix up houses. So I wanted to collaborate with people or with individuals to be able to fix up the homes, keep the homes in pristine condition, and be able
Mhm.
to allow them to live in their home and pay monthly payments. But of course, that comes with a cost. And I had to
Absolutely.
kind of take back and I guess use one of your words. I had to pivot. I
Okay.
couldn't cover that overhead and continue to do what I was doing.
Okay. Okay. And how because that was a passion for you. That was something you took to heart, right?
Yes. Oh
What
yes,
was
and
that like to have to not be able to continue down that path the way your vision gave it to you or the vision you had for it?
uh, like I say, I'm a God fearing man, and I'm always taking to Him first. And I kind of believe in that ram in the bush. God just kind of took me a different way. He didn't say that I couldn't do it. He just said it's not time yet. I'm going to prepare you and make it your season. And so when that season comes, I'll be prepared for it. And I had some other things in my bag, that I've always kept in my back pocket. I'm
Mhm.
also done financial services, and I'm a big fan of MLMs. And I tell people all
Okay.
the time that, you need to learn how to be able to have more than one source of income. And that's the best way and probably the cheapest way to be able to do that.
Okay. So I have a question for you because you went back to it, and I know you are a God fearing man first and foremost, right?
Yes, ma'am.
As I am a woman of God, and those that walk of life is not easy, right? It is not going to be easy by far, because you still have to do your work. So for everyone out there that say, well, yeah, you pray about it, but what do you do while you pray, right? You're supposed to just pray and sit. Is that the case for you, or did you actually do your part to truly, like they say, faith without works is dead? Did you just pray and sit, or did you pray and do what you were supposed to do in the meantime?
No, like I say, I'm not perfect, and so I'm not going to tell you that I had some doubt in the beginning.
Right.
God, I prayed to you and I asked you before I made this decision, before I made this move, was it something that I needed to do? And you put on my heart that that's what was necessary for me to do, to that you had a bigger purpose for me, and I
Hmm.
made that move. And then it wasn't all skies or rainbows and sunshine. You really had
Right.
to work. You had some things that I lost some money, I lost some time, I lost some friends along the way. But when I look back over it, I wouldn't change a thing because God opened up doors and introduced me to people in my life and things that occurred during that span of time that no way would I have ever been able to be in that position if I was still working in law enforcement.
Got it. And you know what, you said something that hit home, especially for me, that in when certain seasons of your life that you lose a lot of things, and one of those things that you lose is friends, right? Especially friends you thought was going to be around from day one, right? Are those long time friends? What is your first of all? How did that make you feel? How did you get through it? And what nuggets can you give, to that next person that is trying to hold on to those so-called friends for dear life, because that's all they knew, right? That's all I have, that's all I have to work with, and that's all I have to talk to. If I let them go, if I don't do what they want me to do, I won't have nothing. What would you say to that?
First thing I would say is I've had some good people, like I say, that came into my life since then.
Hmm.
Some coaches, some mentors, some friends, and
Okay.
in that time, uh, we've kind of been blunt. And in being
Hmm.
blunt, it's one of those situations. If you're not in this room, you're not supposed to be here. You know,
Right.
sometimes it takes you to do some pruning and you gotta cut off the dead weight because not everybody want to see you in your new season. And
Right.
sometimes you have to, like say, prune off that dead weight to be able to grow.
Okay. Yeah, that was tough, and I know that was something that happened to me in my last season, and it was hard. It was hard. I was like, "But Jesus, they've been here," and he was like, "Yeah, they were, and now they're not for a reason, you know." But that was a tough one for me. You touched on multiple streams of income, and we're gonna come back to it. But Roy also mentioned multiple streams is vital nowadays. How many, without getting into your pockets, Mr. Sims, how many streams of income would you say you currently actively have right now?
One, two, three, four, five. Five solidified and one in the making.
Wow. Okay. So my big thing is balance, life
Yeah.
balance, right? How do you balance? You have five streams of income right now.
Yes, ma'am.
You are a husband, you are a father, you are a son. So you have a personal life and you have a business life of
Correct.
five things over here. How are you balancing that out? What is a day-to-day operation for Mariyo Sims?
Structure. And it was something that I kind of dealt with when I first started balance, like say balance and time. I was a procrastinator. I'll be honest. Uh, most of my life, my job told me what to do, when to do it, and how to do it. So I knew what my routine was. But when it came
Okay.
down to business, it was like, hey, I need to make sure that every moment of the day is pretty much on the calendar. I schedule it out. I schedule, time for prayer, time for work, time for family, meetings. I just kind of make sure that it's all on the calendar. If it ain't on my calendar, it wasn't important enough for me to put it in.
Well, I'm glad this conversation was on your calendar because let me tell you, sometimes you are one of the hardest people to get connected with. Even though we got connected, getting you to your emails was like
Yes.
pulling teeth. Like, sir, can I get 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of your scheduled time? Cause you be on the move, sir. You be on the move.
And I'm pretty bad with emails. I will say. I tell most people, hey, get my phone and text me. I'm going to answer my
And you
back.
did, and that's what you did. You was like, tell you what, send me a text message with what you need from me, and I got you.
Got
And at that point, we was good to go.
morning,
So,
noon, and
question,
night.
right? What was so now you are thriving. Of course, you're not where you want to be as of yet, but you are getting there. You are
Most of
thriving. You're not where you was you know, previously when we started this conversation, what was the biggest or the hardest thing for you to work through from June of 2023 to get you to this point?
Whew. I would probably say because of the change in what I was doing. Coming from law enforcement, you tell people what to do all day. You know, it's not a question of me asking you. I need you to move and move expediently. And when you started dealing with people on the business side, I had to learn how to have an A and B conversation, how to be able to talk to someone and wait for them to respond before I gave my next instruction. And so that probably was the hardest part for me. I mean, I feel like I'm pretty good with people skills, but at the end of the day, I didn't really, how can I say this nicely? Your opinion didn't matter. I needed you to do it and do it expediently.
He said, say it, not just say it. That's why we transparent over here. You say what they need to hear and not what they want to hear, because somebody probably need to hear, somebody need to hear that straightforward response.
Yes.
Right. Going through this journey, what did it do to your mental aspect? Right. I know going from, a corporate job, to being a complete full-time entrepreneur it has a completely different mind shift. What was that mind shift like for you as a person, first and foremost? And then what was the difference being a man doing it? Because the world sees the men completely different, right? And the world sees a Black man different than everybody else. So I can only imagine some of the trials and roadblocks that you had to endure. What is that conversation like that you would have with a fellow man going or getting ready to start this journey? Because I know a lot of men right there that are getting ready to step into this role or this journey of, business owner and entrepreneurship and things of that nature. Talk to the men for a minute. What was that like for you, and what nuggets can you give them?
First thing I would say is have a true conversation with yourself. You have to really stand transparent, naked before yourself, and realize what are your strengths and what are your weaknesses. And sometimes when you're first starting out, you don't have the money to pay a person to do everything that you're not good at. So you become the entire business. And in becoming the entire business, you have to do, I would probably say one of the greatest quotes that I've ever heard was from Nelson Mandela. And it was, education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world. And the reason I say that, because it's not just the education that you receive in a school, it's the education that you receive in day-to-day life. And you have to learn how to use those nuggets and find a way to make it easier for you to do the job that you're doing. Because literally, as an entrepreneur, I wake up every morning unemployed, because without a client, I don't have a job. That's the reality of it. So you have to learn how to treat people. It's a networking, and when you have a good network, you have a good net worth. So that would be the first step, to truly be transparent with yourself.
Okay. So you have a few different things going on. First, let me congratulate you, sir. I saw you on a reality show a couple of months back.
Yes, ma'am.
I was definitely impressed, right? I
Yes.
loved it. How was that? First of all, what's the name of the show? And how was it? Was that your first time doing a reality show like that?
First time doing reality TV, and it's The Real Entrepreneur 2, season 2. The Dr. Casual Pitts is the one that put that whole organization together, that whole plan together. And when I say I'd been stretched, that was probably the most stretching that I've done in a long time. I hadn't been with that many strangers in one place. I hadn't been tested And of course, we all think that our way is the best way. And when you get in front of somebody who judges you and critiques you on what you do, you can feel real small. But
Yeah.
it was a learning experience, and I got some good friends out of it. Literally, everyone on that show to this day, I still communicate with. So
Oh, that's
it was
awesome. Collaboration is the name of the game, right?
a collaboration.
I love, and I know what you mean. You saying, being judged on what you do, because I'm a pageant girl as well, right? So, but I know being judged on a pageant stage is completely different than being judged on a business owner type of stage, right? Being judged on your stuff, like for real, something that you gave birth to. So I was just like, yeah, I'll support, but I don't know if I can do that one. But I congratulate each and every one of you guys, and you did an amazing, amazing job.
Thank you.
But I want to talk about this. What is this?
I would probably say, other than my children being born, that was my baby. I finally got to tell my truth. A lot of times we end up making ourselves small. We end up not telling the story the way that it should be told because we're afraid of the repercussion. It not only affects you, but it affects the people around you sometimes when you tell the truth like it is. And this was my way of saying, hey, I'm going to do it no matter what. And I did it my way. And Truth Legacy is truly that. That's me telling the world my story.
Okay, so picking up a copy of Truth Legacy, and I'm gonna apologize up front. Uh, I forgot to order my copy, but I need my copy. But I'm telling you now, if it's not signed, it's gonna be returned to sender. I'm just saying, I'm gonna put that out there like that. But what is picking up a copy of Truth Legacy? What can we expect? Is it a deep dive into more of who Mariyo Sims is? Are we going to be able to relate? Can you give us a snippet of your book?
Most definitely. It kind of from the beginning. Just some of the things that happen in life is a way that molds us to who we are today. A lot of times people don't tend to realize that we're just the extension of where we come from. The difference is, do we stay there or do we grow? And if I had not experienced the things that I experienced in my life, there would be no Truth Legacy. And that's kind of where the book tells you. It takes you on a journey through my life, some of the ups, the downs, the failures, and the successes. And buying into how would I say, a system that I thought was the best way to go, and realizing that there was another way for me and my family, and I had to be the one to step out and make those choices.
Okay. Okay. Uh, well, thank you for the validation. You see this message, right?
I see.
Because he tried it. He tried it and it didn't work. Um, so and that says a lot that you were willing to put your life in written form, right?
Yes.
And not just recorded on a video and things of that nature. It's printed, so it's out there. You can't take that back,
It makes it
right?
real. It makes it real.
Right. It 100% truth. How did you come up with that title of Truth Legacy?
Uh, it kind of, I'll be honest, it came to me in a dream. Uh, I was kind of on the fence about even writing the book. I had spoke to one of my coaches and mentors, and she kept telling me, "You need to put it on paper. You need to put it on paper." And I'm like, this gonna be something that's gonna rather some feathers. Everybody ain't gonna agree with this. Everybody ain't gonna like what they see in this. And of course, English has never been my strong point, But I was like, hey, I'm gonna do it, and I thank God for her because she made me accountable. She made me, hey, if you said you're gonna do this, then I need you to do it, and I need you to have so much done in a period of time, so we can check it, so we can go back and look and see, is this a good first draft? Do we need to start over and go back to the drawing board? And
let's start over.
And so between her and her husband, I don't like to name drop, but Dr. Sonia Lowe and Dr. Bradford Lowe have truly been two influential people that helped me in that journey. And like I say, I thank God for them because it's people like that I've met since leaving the law enforcement that opened up horizons for me.
Okay. Well, over here at What's in Your Cup Conversation, we don't call it name drop. We call it giving flowers, right? We acknowledge those that has helped us and currently helping us along the way. Because, baby, giving them flowers after the fact ain't going to do no good.
No good.
Right? So definitely let it be known, because it may be somebody out there now trying to figure out, I need to get this done, but I don't know who to reach out to. I don't know nobody or who to trust. And now you done gave them some names. Let me go look these people up. Right?
Yes.
Because I'm supposed to be working on another book too, but it ain't working out the way I thought it should. So yeah, we're gonna get back to that. But don't look, and I know he listening, but don't tell Dr. Johnson, right? Because he gonna pull my coattail every time. But you have, let's talk about some of these streams of income that you currently have right now, taking care of you and taking care of home, that's growing this legacy of yours. I know the book is one. One of the other ones that I personally know of, you're doing a launch with some other folks in Houston, right?
Yes, ma'am.
What is this launch all about?
Connect MD, another one of Dr. Casual Pitt's babies, I would say. It's kind of like intervention. A lot of times we have people that need health insurance and need health care, and it ain't financially suitable for everyone. And so we ended up coming up with a alternative to health insurance. And that's what Connect MD is. And one of the biggest things that grabbed me was the mental health aspect. Coming from law enforcement, I've lost, quite a few brothers to suicide and to depression, and ended up getting into drugs and things like that because of the pressures that go along with wearing that badge. And to know that you were able to get help in the mental health department for less than $100 a month was something that just drew me in. And so, yes, that's one of my babies.
Well, Dr. Casual Pitts is coming up all over the place, so I'm gonna have to get him on an episode of What's in Your Cup Conversations. So I hope he listening and he hear this. Dr. Casual Pitts, we need you on What's in Your Cup Conversations with Consuela Nicole. So whoever out there in social media land, right, make sure you send him this clip. So you have the book, you have Connect MD.
Yes.
What other stream of incomes are you able to share with us here today?
We have a full online boutique. It's called Gifts from the Heart. It's kind of my wife's baby, but of course we partnership in everything that we do in life, and it's been great. Whether you're looking for kids' clothes or you're looking for something sexy and elegant for the Valentine's, for your hubby, it's available. And it's called Gifts from the Heart, and you can get there at giftsfromtheheart10.com.
Okay, so I don't have a Valentine, but I can still go get some for myself and be prepared for any other day. What's the website one more time?
Giftsfromtheheart10.com. 10.com.
The number 10?
Number 10, yes, ma'am. And
Okay. So
and it's
gifts
10
from the
because
heart to number
from the heart.
10.com.
Gifts from the Heart was birthed in 2010, but we pivot, like you say,
Yeah.
and put it online in 2017. And so,
Growth, elevation. I love it. I love it. Okay. But you're also in the financial. I saw something online. I don't know everything. That
yes,
you just recently opened or launched your financial services or something of that nature.
yes, ma'am. That's Heartlad Solutions. And Heartlad
Okay.
Solutions is a financial background. I pretty much took what I learned in law enforcement and I turned it into something financial to still be able to protect and serve. And that's what we're doing. We're protecting families from everything from pre-needs to helping with retirements. My biggest thing that I do right now is I help teachers. Well, teachers is the market, but we can help anyone with retirement. But right now, we're helping teachers with retirement. It's sad to say that it's probably one of the best professions in the land because without teachers, where would we all be?
Right.
But when it comes down to giving them their flowers, it's not the best retirement plan. And so what we do is we
Right.
try to help them to fill the void. And I've been doing that actually since 2017 as well, but it was kind of like my hobby, you know. But once I
Okay.
walked away from the full job, I was like, hey, I need to give this thing another look, you know.
Right.
Uh, and so I went back in and took really most of last year and just really did a deep dive into how I could help families. And it starts with learning what money is, how money works, and how to save it. Because it's not about how much money you make; it's about how much money you keep.
Oh, that's a good one. Say that again. It's not how much money you make. It's
How
what?
much money you make is how much money you keep.
Oh, that's a good one. And probably a hard pill for a lot of people right now is, with everything that's going on, no matter what side of the coin that you're on, is that still something feasible, right? Saving and retirement, with everything that's happening, is that still something that can, feasibly be done without breaking the bank or going broke per se?
And it is. A lot of people think that it takes a lot of money to be able to save, but it doesn't. It's just about putting it in the right vehicle that's going to work for you. There's a reason that you have those multiple streams of income, and because your money will work harder for you than you ever could work for it.
Okay. And people are able to connect with you all over social media, correct?
Yes, ma'am. Mariyo Sims.oic@gmail.com for anything to do with finances.
Or just connect with him over social media, because as you know, that it may take him a few extra days to get to the email. So find him on social. Yep, I called you out, Mariyo, because you already
So,
told me, but still,
like I told you, I'm transparent. My real
yeah.
phone number is on my Facebook. So if you want to call, give me a
Are you
call.
serious?
I am so serious. That's just how serious I am about doing
I
that
did
because
not realize that. Okay, I'm gonna have to pay. I'm a look. See, my English not even right now. Um, but I appreciate that, because that truly does say a lot. Um, with everything that's going on. I had another question for you, and I just really lost it. Talking to the men, I want you to have a conversation with the men. Um, as you know, society says that men have to stay strong.
yes.
Men have to keep on this Superman cape. Um, there are a lot of homes without the men in them for one reason or the other, right? Based on society. What can I want you to talk to the men about, what it means to stay strong but still reach out for help. What it means to get your mental in check as well as your health in check. Can you talk to the men folk for me?
Uh, it's like where to start with that. Uh, one of the sayings that we use as another stream of income that we didn't get to, but I'd be remiss not to speak on this. It's a company called PPLSI, and our motto is faith, family, finance, and fitness. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, that sounds so cliche. But as I started implementing it into my life, it was a perfect order. Because if you don't keep God first, everything else that you're trying is not going to work. It's not going to be successful. You may have some success in it, but it's not going to get to the level that you truly want it if you don't put God first in it. The second thing is family. Family is so important because without family, without having, and family doesn't mean that your brothers, your sisters, your mother. Your family means the people that you let into your inner circle. That's the people that when you're having a bad day, you can give them a call and they're going to listen. You can call them in the midnight hour and they're going to pick up the phone. Finances is something that we could never do without, because as much as we may feel as if it's not important, there's nothing in this world that you're not going to have to pay $1 for. And fitness, what's the use to making all this success and all this money and having all these acclimates, but if you're not healthy enough to enjoy what you've put all your time and effort into? And so I would tell every man out there that put those 4 things in your pocket and keep it with you. It's time for us to put down I'm the man of the house persona, because without a good queen, we wouldn't make it either. It takes that structure. It takes that person that's you can be vulnerable with, that person that you can sit and give your innermost secrets to. Right. If you don't have that person in your life, then even having that relationship with a church member, a neighbor, just someone that you can truly connect with. And that doesn't always mean it has to be your hubby, but you should always have a day one. We used to call them day ones. Yeah. Your day one is that person that no matter what goes on in your life, right, wrong, or indifferent, they're going to be there and have your 6.
Yeah. Okay. That's a lot. And I think you did it right there. So before we end, I always end with one question. In a world that praises the beautiful and shuns the flawed, and then we always in this cancel culture, people cancel what they don't understand. They cancel what they don't know, right? What does it mean to you to live life with no more limits, being beautifully flawed?
That's a deep one. I know that I'm flawed, and I know that there's nothing that I can do about being flawed, because we were created flawed. God said that the only thing that was perfect was Him. And I would probably say to most people to not look at the flaws as a failure, but to look at it as a life lesson. We don't fail, we just get better. Whenever you run across something in life that didn't work out the way that you felt like it should have, or you put everything into it and it just blew up in your face, remember that if you did it with purpose and then you kept the faith that you were trying to do it the right way, that nothing and nobody could take that from you. So I would say trust God's timing. I'm a steal something from you. Be willing to pause, pivot, and push, because sometimes it's necessary. And I even had to add a little something to it, because I think it's 2 more P's that should be added to it, and that's praise and purpose.
Oh, okay. Make it 5 then. Yeah, pause, pivot, push, and then praise with purpose. There it is. Okay.
You know, because when you find your purpose, don't be afraid to stand for it. Protect it and share it with others. Because like my book, your truth is your foundation. Your legacy is what you build on top of it. And if you stand in your truth and walk in your purpose, everything else will fall into place. And you
And
will
there
be
it
blessed.
is. I don't have nothing else to say. Mr. Mariyo Sims, I want that man, that was a whole mic drop just by itself. Uh, I want to thank you for being a guest here on What's in Your Cup Conversations with me, your favorite host, Consuela Nicole. It was a pleasure. We are definitely going to have you back uh, because you got nuggets for the men, and
Yes.
they need to hear it. So I really hope and pray that this one gets shared out. Make sure you are sharing this link, guys, to everyone. You never know what someone is praying for because they may be too afraid to ask you for help. Until next time, we will see you in 2 weeks on What's in Your Cup Conversations. And I am your host, Consuela Nicole. Until next time.